Okay, we're here in the brain, perched on top of a neuron. Let's take a cigarette. As you smoke, the nicotine molecules enter the brain. Take the nicotine and dock it to its receptor, these green towers to the right. These receptors are proteins on the neuron's cell membrane. Each time you dock the nicotine, a tiny little electrical current is produced in the cell membrane. Whoa, what's happening? All the little currents produced by the nicotine got together and produced a big electrical impulse. We're following the impulse down the neuron's axon. Look, we're approaching the axon terminal. The terminal just released a chemical called dopamine. The dopamine molecules bind to the dopamine receptors on the neuron next door. Do you feel good? Okay, now it's a few months later. Look carefully at the receptors. Do you see what happened? More receptors for nicotine got inserted into the cell membrane. So what happens when you take a cigarette? Now, the nicotine from one cigarette isn't enough to trigger the electrical impulse. You'll need to smoke some more. And here we go again to seek some pleasure. By the way, we're traveling from the middle to the front of the brain along the pleasure pathway. It's really about 3 inches long. And now we got some pleasure, but it did take more cigarettes to get us there than before. So this change in the brain, more receptors for nicotine, explains why people need to smoke more cigarettes to get the pleasure they felt initially.